I feel like how you have to just join in. And I were laying upstairs reading, and left them upstairs. And I hear Jeff go, "What do you think you're doing?" And hello,
we're live.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully,
one
soon.
Person.
Hello, one person.
You in the face with his tail. So we're kicking off Halfoween-a-thon right now, and we're obviously in costume. Should we have people guess who we are?
Yeah. Why don't we have y'all try to guess our costumes?
Yeah.
We still got like a minute before 3, so I started us a little early.
Okay. But we'll hang out a minute. Do you want to pour this beer?
Oh, yeah.
Drinking a beer at 3 p.m.
3 p.m. on Saturday.
Getting started. And we have fun goblets. Our Halfoween goblets. Hello, John and Annie.
Hello, John and Annie. Welcome.
Feel free to guess what our costumes are. I feel like mine's pretty easy.
Mine's maybe not so easy because I didn't do a very accurate job.
I'm a bit of a pastel version of my character. Yes, I'm Chucky.
Yes.
You got it. Megan, you might have to do a...
I might have to do a...
Does that help?
I didn't do an accurate job. I'm going to be... Those movies freaked me out.
Which one did you do?
I mean, either one. They look the same. I didn't really pick.
Hi, Anne.
Hello, Anne.
We're drinking a kind of a spooky-ish beer. Not really.
It's my
badass beer.
Yeah.
It's Broken Skull IPA. Stone Cold Steve Austin, and it's from El Segundo Brewing, which is probably in Texas, I'm gonna guess. Isn't that where Steve Austin's from?
I think so. I mean, it would make a hell of a lot of sense.
I don't know.
Yes, Annie, I am the girl from the ring. I would have also said the girl from the bridge. Because it looks the same to me.
Virginia. I was wrong. Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach.
So it's just after 6 a.m. Oh my gosh, John, you got up early,
dude.
That's
or
so
did
early.
you
wake up earlier? Let's try our beer. We've never had this before.
I like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Nice IPA. So did any of you read the story? It's Tricks or Treats is what we're going to be talking about by Jeff Gelb.
Yes, and we have thoughts.
What is that?
It's my Kindle. It just makes
Megan's Kindle's making noise. Sorry about that. But since it's 5 p.m. in Brazil. Oh yeah, I'm glad Anne got to join in.
Yes.
Because I think you said it's always too late there when we do our
other ones.
Our So the story is from the collection of Crimes of Passion,
which is one of the. Why does it always do this? My internet is pretty fine.
Can you guys hear us okay? If not, we can switch to
a
phone. But so let us know how the connection is. But the story is from one of the Hot Blood books series.
Yes, which there are a bunch of. But this story is about 2 detectives who are trying to solve murder, most foul. And
Book Brew, they said we're fine.
Oh, hello, Book Brew.
Hi, Heidi and or Aaron.
Yes, both and or each of you. But yeah, so they're trying to solve a murder, and they have to go undercover to a strange situation in order to do that.
Yeah, so it's Anne said it or freezing, but the sound is okay. I guess that's This sounds fine.
Acceptable.
Hopefully that'll be enough. Groaning at his food in the background, so your groaning noises. Murphy, who thinks his food is haunted, apparently. They're both here. But yeah, so the story is by a police detective, and there's a awful smell coming from this apartment. And so the police go there to investigate and find this famous comedian, Jerry Kramer, dead. Yeah. And he has been bashed over the head with one of his awards and had another one
shoved up his poop.
Shoved where the sun don't shine. Yeah. So someone really was pissed off at him. And so the only clue they can find for what might have happened is they find his secret diary. He's a grown man who has a diary. There's nothing wrong with that. But
a diary about his coworkers and apparently his sexual
yes.
in graphic detail.
Yes.
And both of the detectives get tingly in their nethers when they're reading it. So
yes. And so he writes about a young fan who he was seeing.
Morgan.
And she is part of a nudist colony. And they had plans to go to a Halloween party that her nudist colony was throwing.
Mm-hmm.
And so the detectives are trying to find this woman. He didn't write what her name was in the diary. And all they have to go on is that she has a heart-shaped birthmark by her eye. And she has her clit pierced.
Blood in the clit pierce. Yes. So they go to this Halloween. Everyone's naked, obviously, but they all have masks on so they can't see their faces. And so they are trying to scope out the vagina situation at this party to see if anyone has a sparkly clit.
Mm-hmm. So they're examining everyone's vaginas closely, or nethers, I guess you should say.
I refer to them repeatedly as pride.
Has the word pussy on it like 10 times.
Yeah, which, sidebar, if anyone ever referred to my junk that way, like, you're not touching it. You can't see it. Like, if that's what you're going to call it.
Yeah. And so these two women come in, and both of them have, well, we're going to have to fuck them to find out.
Yeah, we're going to have to. Like, we're going to have to fuck them.
Have a piercing.
Yeah.
And so they each go off with women, and we're following the one detective. I don't know if it ever says what his name is.
Chesterfield.
Oh,
something
Chesterfield. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're following Chesterfield, who's with one of the women.
Yes.
And and he's trying really hard to like get a look
at her junk.
Get a close look
right.
At her junk.
So she's horny AF and she's DTF. So she's like trying to get it in. And he's just, no, ma'am, I would like to scope out your situation. And she's like, please don't.
Yeah. And obviously he's not armed because he's nude.
He's naked.
And he does say at one, shove a gun on my butt.
Yeah. No, might have been maybe a taser. Those are kind of cylindrical.
At least some pepper spray, something. So then it turns out this is the woman.
Yeah.
And she becomes enraged because he mentions Jerry Kramer. And then she attacks him with a knife that she stashed in the bed.
Under her pillow, I think.
Is where she pulls it from. I was never clear if this was
wasn't clear. Because they were just cabins that were behind the party. And so I don't know if it was a cabin or if it was just a fuck cabin.
Yeah. So there's magically a knife in the bed. And so she attacks him, and then his partner, Jake, I think it's Jake, like he screams. She stabbed him in the calf.
She makes the head of
yeah, she's going after his junk.
Yeah.
And so his partner, Jake, hears the screaming and comes running in. And the Chesterfield has lost a lot of blood, and so he passes out. And then he wakes up in the hospital and learns that she killed his partner.
Yep, she's dead. Stabbed Jake in the heart.
She's dead too.
Jake shot her.
Jake has a gun. Where he got the gun.
Right.
Where was Jake stashing a gun?
Maybe he put it up his head.
Yeah.
He might in that situation would have been a smart thing. Normally I don't advocate for like putting firearms up your rectum, but like in this particular situation, I feel like Jake was onto something.
Right. And that's basically the end of the story.
That's the end of our sordid tale.
Yeah. So we did highlight some quotes.
We did.
We did highlight some of our favorite quotes. So if you guys have any parts that were, if you read along, if you have any parts that were your favorites,
please let us know what your favorite parts were.
Also, what did you think of the story?
We didn't realize that it did have a homophobic slur in it, so we do apologize if you read that, if you read with us for that.
Yeah, because the cop that's narrating, I feel like he's supposed to be like a stereotypical like New York cop, you know. So I feel like it was kind of in character for him to say that, but still could have done without it.
Yeah, didn't need it.
But I think the weirdest and funniest thing about this story is that it seems to be some sort of weird Seinfeld fan fiction.
Yeah, it does, and it's weird because like the cop was talking about how he only watches the show for Jerry Kramer's ex-girlfriend,
who's clearly supposed to be Elaine.
Yeah, talks very strangely about her hair and how like he would want it to rub his body.
Yeah, he's very attracted to her hair.
I'm like, is that a thing?
And then he finds out later that
it's a wig. Yeah.
Disappointed about that. And then there's also there's at least one like Seinfeld reference to something that happens in the show. Maybe there's more and I just missed them, but at one point he says, find it. I prided myself on the fact that I hadn't thrown up since 1988, and I didn't plan on starting now. Which is that's a Seinfeld thing. There was in one of the episodes. He was proud of how long he'd been gone without throwing up, like breaks history, I think, or something. It's been a long time since I really watched Seinfeld.
Yeah, I don't like Seinfeld. I don't think Jerry's funny at all, so I don't care for the show. But
are we still doing well? If we at any point start cutting out, please let us know.
Please let us know.
Almost always have trouble with live streams.
Almost always. Yeah. I think one of the first things that I highlighted was just a phrase, female fun flesh, because they're talking, the cop is talking, and he said, I winked at Jake, who was having a hell of a time disguising the fact that he was hard as a rock from looking at all the female fun flesh on display in the sweaty room. Ew. That's gross. We weren't missing comments.
That we weren't seeing, maybe because our connection was bad. But anyway, yeah. The first thing I have highlighted was my balls had drawn so far up my scrotum I could have licked them. I swear my dick looked as tiny as a cocktail pickle.
Pussy overkill. Who'd have known there was such a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chesterfield was not having a great time at the party.
He was not. He was very, like, focused on his job, I think. Good old Jake there was struggling. The next thing I highlighted, so it was talking about how Jerry Kramer and his girlfriend would go to these, like, nudist colonies, and he would just wear, like, a beard and sunglasses so no one would recognize him. And it says, one of the biggest stars in the world could let his cock hang out in public with no fear of the paparazzi with just a simple disguise. What a pisser.
I highlighted that as well. This was one of my favorites. Suddenly one more woman walked in, and I gotta admit, she made my dick twitch like one of those divining rods that finds water in. Oh, man.
Oof. I highlighted the beginning of this sentence just...
Yeah. Like, after all, Peggy could have the clap, or worse, she could be an insane killer.
I did that too. I was like, oh, chlamydia, killer. Chlamydia, killer. I also highlighted, so our main character, Chesterfield, is observing Jake, and he says, a new woman has walked in, and he said, he looked looks the newcomer over, trying in vain to hide his erection, which I couldn't help if things are okay with our live and see if we're getting all of them.
Yeah, well, I'm wondering if the chat box is working. I guess you could send us something on Instagram or Twitter if anyone can hear us. But I guess we'll keep going until someone tells us otherwise. Here was one of the quotes that, should we switch to phone? All my quotes are on my phone.
We can use my phone, I just have to plug it in.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we're going to switch to phone, and then hopefully that'll be better. I don't know why the Wi-Fi never works well. Maybe we should do like a hotspot next time.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and end this one.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna end this one, and then we'll be back momentarily. And hopefully it'll be better. So, excuse me, just in time for me to get my burp in. But we'll be back. Hopefully you all can hear me. Should I put it in the chat? Put it in the chat in case we're picking up. Annie said last thing I heard was erection. Can't fucking type. I'm gonna end it now and we'll be back in a minute.